Hey guys, welcome back to the interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we are back with our Nilah basic guide. Now Nilah is the latest champion released just like it's only been a couple of days, honestly, so less than a week. It's like, I don't know, almost a week but not quite a week. Like I think 5 days ago she was released. I've been spamming her a lot, and I'm not yet Mastery 5, only Mastery 3 on Nilah, not too many games on Nilah yet, but as you can see, we are in top 100 Nilah because we've been playing her so much, like every single day, and I've learned quite a lot by just spamming matches on her. So today we're going to be talking about her. Basically, she is a melee range ADC, so very unique compared to all of the other ADCs in the cast, which is what mainly draws me to her. Very all-in style champion that deals insane amounts of damage and heals an insane amount, which of course is necessary because she is, after all, a melee champion playing in a ADC role. So she has a lot of lifesteal to kind of make up for the fact that she is a melee champion, and she's gonna be taking a lot of damage just based on the fact that all of her counterparts are ranged. So anyways, without further ado, let's jump straight into our practice tool and take a look at her skills. Alright, so let's max out our level first. And the first part, basically her passive is whenever you crit, you're going to heal for 20% of that amount. So in order to demonstrate that, let me actually just give myself 100%. Is this 100% crit if I spam buying crit cloaks? I think it probably is. Right, yeah, it does give me 100% crit. So if I'm buying only crit cloaks, let me just get myself some berserker greaves as well. So here, if I get all these crit cloaks, I put a dummy here. You can see that here, when I attack him, I'm gonna actually heal because I crit, and this is gonna get converted into a shield. So perhaps a better demonstration is if I take a little bit of damage first, so you can take a look at healing. But any excess healing is actually going to be converted to a shield, which is something that you can already see. So let me go ahead over to the tower, take a couple of tower shots, like so. This is probably enough to take a look at the healing by now. So here I'm going to spawn an enemy dummy. Here you can see I don't have any lifesteal. I only have crit cloaks. So you can see when I attack, I'm going to heal. You can see I'm healing for 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. This is because I'm stacking Conqueror. Now I'm healing for 47 damage per hit. And you can see that after I hit 100% HP from this healing, of course it's going to heal way more in an actual game because I don't have any AD at all in this build. I'm just having cloaks basically. This is going to convert to an extra shield, like so. So next up we have her Q. So her Q is basically a straight line skill shot. And what it does is basically it's just a whip like that. And if it hits somebody, let me just give myself 0 cooldown. If it hits somebody like this, you're actually going to get extra range, which is going to roughly be almost the range of your Q, and it's going to hit in a cone. So here you can see this is my normal auto attack range like that. When I hit something with the Q, this is going to give me extra attack range. It's going to attack everything in a cone. So it's going to deal full damage to everybody in the cone. Let me just demonstrate that by putting a couple of dummies here. So here you can see I'm going to whip all of them, and all of them are going to be taking the exact same amount of damage here, like that. Okay. So another thing about this skill is it has a passive. So passively you get extra armor penetration based off of your crit chance. And how much exactly this is here you can see you gain 35% of your current crit chance as armor penetration. So at 100% crit chance, this is a free 35% armor penetration. Of course, how much you get for like each crit item, you basically just divide this 35% by 4, and each crit item is going to give you that amount. So if we do some like quick calculations over here, that will basically give you 8.75% armor penetration for every crit you have. So now something else to note is, aside from the attack range that you get, this is also going to give you increased attack speed. So this is one of the main reasons why you don't have to build attack speed on Nilah, because this gives you additional attack speed when you hit. this is not going to be a very obvious damage. Like here you can see, like I'm attacking pretty slowly here like this, and when I activate my Q, I'm attacking a lot faster. This is based on level, and you can see at max level this gives me 60% attack speed, whereas at level 1 it gives you 10%. So 60% attack speed is a lot. You don't really have to build too much attack speed in your build. And the next thing to note is that the damage of your Q itself, which is this whip itself, increases based on your crit chance. So here you can see, I have 100% crit chance, so it's increased 1% for all for each crit chance I have. So this is gonna basically double my damage because it increases it by 100%. So that's a lot of like a wall of text on the Q here, as you can see. So next up is her W. So her W is Jubilant Veil. Basically what it does is when you press it, you're gonna get this veil for 1.75 seconds. And what this veil does is three things. Firstly, you get bonus movement speed. So here you can see you get bonus movement speed, like that. Number two, you're going to be immune to auto attacks. So when enemies attack you, this is like a Jax E. You're not going to take damage. You're gonna dodge it. So let me try to see if I can do it on minions. If I can take minion aggro. Let me wait for next wave to come in. Like this. And here you can see minions are going to aggro me and I'm going to attack. But when I press my W, it's going to dodge like that. So it's going to dodge. And the last thing it does is it reduces the magic damage you take by 25%. And as a bonus, if you have an ally with you, the nearest ally is going to get the veil as well, and your veil duration is going to be increased by 1 entire second, as you guys can see there. Now, the kind of catch here is that unlike PC League, you can only apply this onto one ally. So you can see if I have 3 allies here, and I press it, it's only going to apply to the nearest ally, which is this guy beside me. If I want to apply on this guy, I have to be over here. So you can't you can drag and target which guy you want to target. You can only target the nearest guy. So you really have no choice here. It only attaches onto the other guy. Walking through them does not give them the veil, like unlike PC League. So that does not work. That's just something to note. And next up we have her E. So her E is a dash, and unlike PC League, this is a free targeted dash. So you can actually dash over walls. And you don't have to have a target. You don't have to target like an enemy champion or an ally. You can just dash wherever you want. So I'm gonna have to remove my cooldown for this because this is gonna be a little bit difficult to explain. Now the first part I want to explain is you can actually, like Samira, use your Q within your E. So for example, I dash like this. I can actually double click my E to cast my Q. You can see that my Q just whipped forward there. So here you can see I'm not in range of the enemies. I double tap my E, it's gonna whip forward my Q, and my Q basically gets used. So here let me turn off my 0 CD. It's gonna be a bit more obvious because my Q is gonna go on cooldown. Here I'm double tapping my E, and you can see my Q is on cooldown because my E has activated my Q. Now, the next thing to note about the E is you can see it's gone on full cooldown here. But if you dash through an ally or an enemy, it's not gonna go on full cooldown. You're gonna get another charge. So here, if you can see, I'm dashing through this ally. I'm getting the cooldown back, but when I dash through this enemy here, I'm not gonna get the cooldown anymore because this cooldown refresh is only once every 10 seconds. If not, you're gonna have unlimited dashes, which is gonna be very unfair. So I'm gonna show you guys dashing through an enemy. So for example, I can dash through an enemy here. I'm gonna get the cooldown back, and then I no longer have the cooldown. Now, this cooldown on hit is going to reduce your cooldown by 2 seconds, like that. So basically, you can dash like that, it's gonna go on cooldown. Then you can start whacking people, and it's gonna come back really quickly. So finally is her ultimate Apotheosis. So basically, what this does is you're gonna spin around for a couple of seconds. Each of these spins do a little bit of damage as well as slow down the enemies. And after 1 second, you're gonna deal a huge burst of damage as well as pull enemies toward you, and also heal for the amount of damage that you did. So here you can see I'm gonna spin, do a couple of damage, boom, and pull all the enemies towards me. And any excess healing once again turns into a shield. Now, something to note is this scales off of crit chance as well. So over here you can see that the heal amount is 20% plus 30% crit chance. So total this can be 50% when you have 100% crit chance. So here, once again, I need to get the 0 CD back. So once again, boom, 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 and you get the pull. So something to note is if your allies are inside the circle as well, they're gonna get healed as well. So here you can see boom, 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 boom. The allies are all getting that shield as well because they're getting healed. And you can see that eventually, you can end up pulling all the enemies to one spot. So afterwards, you can start attacking all of them simultaneously, something like that. So that is it for her skills. Now that took a really long explanation because there's a lot to explain with her skills. But yeah, so let's quickly reset level and talk about her leveling order. Level 1, you always want to take Q, and level 2, you always want to take E, and then after you can take W. Now here is the slightly contentious part, because most people are gonna max Q first. So this is the leveling order most people have. They max Q, and then they max E, and they max W last. However, I'm gonna make a video on this in the future, but I think that maxing E is better, and I'm gonna explain why in that video. So for me, I max E and then Q and then W and then ulti, and just briefly the reason is because your Q, you only get 5 extra damage per rank and you get extra AD ratio, but the AD ratio is not too important because you don't have too many items yet. So, but maxing E gives you a 2-second cooldown reduction as well as a lot of increased damage. So I think maxing E is better personally, but as I said, I'm gonna explain that in a future video. So that is it for her leveling order itself. Now I'm gonna move on to talking about her combos. Now, Nilah does have quite a number of combos, but first, to demonstrate the combos, I'm gonna have to actually go back to base and get myself a Proto Belt, because she does have some Proto Belt combos here. So here we have the Proto Belt. So now that we're in base, I guess we can just use this target dummy. You don't have to walk all the way back there. But her first combo is her basic combo, which I think we probably move out a little bit so we have a little bit more space. But here, I'm gonna put down another target dummy. Her first combo is basically her most basic combo. You're gonna like get into Q range. You basically Q, auto, E, auto, E, auto. That's basically the combo. That's your full burst combo, and it does a lot of damage. Now this, when you get multiple items, it's a huge burst of damage. You can one-shot people with this combo. So once again, Q, auto, E, auto, E, auto, and this is gonna bring you back to your starting position, because when you E, you don't really want to stay here and like start autoing like right next to them. You want to E back and then you want to auto next to them. Of course, you have to get the increased range from your Q first, then you auto and then you dash back and continue autoing and then Q, auto, 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 that kind of thing. You don't want to be right next to them at auto, because you want to be taking advantage of your Q's range to auto them at the maximum possible range like this. Okay, so the next combo you have is your ult combos. So first up, you can see that the dummy is pretty far away. My ult is not going to hit the dummy. But what I can do is I can actually ult and then flash to hit the dummy with the ulti. So another thing you can do is actually you can ult Proto Belt, and basically that does the same thing. But of course Proto Belt's a little bit slower, but it's still gonna work. It's still gonna surprise the enemies, just pulling him out of tower range. But yeah, that's basically the two combos. Now, the last combo is the one that sort of is going to be the engage kind of combo that you're gonna use. And generally, you're gonna do this with jumping to an ally. So you, okay, apparently okay, that's the ward. So basically what you're gonna do, remember you have 2 charges of E, and you can put one onto the ally. So let's say this enemy is pretty far away. If I ult from where my ally is, I'm not gonna actually hit. So what I can actually do here is I can dash to my ally, E, ult, flash into the enemy to catch the enemy with the ult. Don't forget, if I ult like right here, it's not gonna work very well because the enemy can see it coming, and that's not really gonna work. So let me just pull the enemy a bit further away to demonstrate like how you can like really catch an enemy off guard with this. So you can see he's all the way over there. From over here, I can dash, ultimate flash, and catch him with this. And after this, I can basically just do whatever I want. So I still have another charge of E. So what I can actually do here is I can, for example, dash, ult, Proto Belt, E back, and then start Q auto attacking, something like this. So that's kind of the huge combo of dashing to your ally and then like going for the ult flash play and then dashing back towards your team and then getting back to a safe position to auto attack. So that's it for her combos. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about tips and tricks. So the first kind of tip slash trick I have for you guys is your Q. So you can see here that your Q has a 4-second cooldown, and this increased range also lasts for 4 seconds. So this basically gives you permanent uptime. So you should almost never be at this kind of range attacking the enemy. This is only if you miss your Q, but if you miss your Q, you probably just don't want to attack them at all. You want to be at this kind of range attacking the enemy, and when your bonus range runs out, you can Q again and get the bonus range again. So you're gonna have permanent increased range so long as you don't miss your Q, like this. So the next thing that you need to know is your W cannot be cast when you're casting your Q or your E, but it can be cast during your ult. So this is the W, if you guys remember. I'm going to put myself back on 0 CD to demonstrate this. So here, when you Q W, the W is only going to come on after your Q animation finish. Same for E. So if you E here, you E W. Okay, I shouldn't have E to the ally because it's not going to be too obvious. So if I E W, you can see the W only comes online after I finish my E animation. But if you RW, the W is going to come online instantly. So you can only RW, you can't QW or EW. So this is important because if you're dashing in on an enemy and you want to W, your W is only going to activate when you reach the target destination, not within your dash. So when you're in the dash, you can still get auto attack, you're still going to take the normal damage and such. So that's something very, very important to know. And the next thing is, next kind of tip I have is that E is very critical for damage. You don't want to use it willy-nilly. Now, I know that in my combo I did dash to ally and dash to enemy, but generally, your E always wants to be used on enemy. So you generally always want to E to an enemy and E back to an enemy to get 2 points of damage from your E onto the enemy. Because without having the E for damage, Nilah is really, really lacking in damage. You really need the E for damage. And another thing about E is, even though I just said you need your E for damage, don't hesitate to use your E to jump over walls to like run away if you need to do that. And of course, you should always try to get an E reset by either dashing to an enemy or an ally. And other things that can give you the E reset is, let me just demonstrate, is you can dash through jungle monsters. This will give you the E reset. And you can also, let me just get back my E again using the decreased cooldown. And another thing you can dash through that gives you E reset is minions. So ally minions does not give you the E reset, but enemy minions does. So let me just quickly demonstrate that. So enemy minions gives you the E reset, but ally minions do not. So once again, let me just quickly get back my E cooldown. So here you can see if I dash through ally minions, it does not give me, actually it does give me the E reset. I guess I just missed it just now. So it does give you the E reset. Minions, monsters, and champions all give you the E reset, and of course large epic monsters as well. Okay, so that's basically it for the Nilah basic guide. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.
First turret destroyed.